Welcome to Our Issues Milwaukee. I'm your host, Andrea Williams. We're on location at Southbridge Mall in Greendale, and this is where the excitement will happen on Saturday, February 7th and Sunday, February 8th. It's CW18 and My 24's Family Fest 2015. Our focus will now shift to an organization that provides individuals with resources they need when it comes to home ownership, and they also happen to be one of the title sponsors here at Family Fest. My next guests are Jessica Noth, Healthy Neighborhoods Coordinator at Havenwoods Economic Development Corporation, and Mr. Gary White, who's a Community Development Manager at PyraMax Bank, both representing Take Root Milwaukee. Welcome to the show.
Thanks, Andrea.
Thank you, Andrea.
It's a pleasure to have you here, and I would like for you, first and foremost, to explain to everybody at home exactly what Take Root Milwaukee is all about.
Well, Take Root Milwaukee really grew out of an initiative. The Mayor Barrett started this as a result of the foreclosure crisis that the city experienced. And it's a consortium of lenders, realtors, nonprofit agencies, and community groups working together to pull home ownership affordability to everyone within the city. So it's really been a great, almost 10 years we've been at this.
Wow. And time flies by. I remember when the whole initiative was unveiled, so to speak, and so obviously it's growing and continuing to bring people into home ownership on so many different levels. So needless to say, a very successful program, and we want more people to know about it, obviously.
Absolutely.
So if someone's thinking about buying a home, or maybe they have financial difficulties they've been facing, such as foreclosure or something of that nature, Take Root Milwaukee has resources set up to help in all those different areas, right?
Correct.
So let's talk about a few of those resources and how they work.
Well, home ownership, home buyer preservation and stabilization are key aspects of Take Root. So we deal with the foreclosure crisis and preventing foreclosure, and then also helping people to purchase homes, whether they're first-time home buyers or not. So we work with the large foreclosure initiative. As Gary said, that there's several lenders and home ownership counselors that all work together and get on the same page so that people really can avoid falling into foreclosure. And what we like people to do is, even when they start to have mortgage concerns, when maybe they're having a tough time paying their mortgage or even paying their taxes, their homeowner taxes, to contact Take Root Milwaukee, because Take Root Milwaukee has over 54 member organizations, including the majority of the big lenders in the city, and we can connect them with who they need to be connected with in order to avoid going into that foreclosure. We're also connected with the Metropolitan Milwaukee Fair Housing Council, which has a huge vested interest in preventing foreclosure. So that's the foreclosure prevention, but then supporting home ownership is a huge part of Take Root Milwaukee.
Yeah, I mean, that's certainly true, Andrea. You know, we like to think we make a tangible difference. I was telling Jessica earlier, PyraMax Bank alone, which is a relatively small community bank, I looked at our numbers, and over the last 2 years, we provided almost $1 million of direct grant assistance to homebuyers purchasing in the city of Milwaukee.
That's awesome.
Who are low and moderate income. And that money comes from nonprofit and governmental sources all over the country. $1 million from one small bank. When you add many of our larger lenders to the picture, we like to think we're making a real difference.
And I certainly would agree that you are, especially when you talk about in the last 5 to 6 years, we've seen the housing market take a lot of different twists and turns, and many banks have had to make the decision to kind of get a little tighter on their rules and regulations on who in fact can buy a house. And so I'd like for you to tell me now the climate of today's housing market, and our banks, such as yours, feeling like they can kind of let up a little bit and allow more people to get into that home buying process.
Absolutely, and that's one of the reasons we're really happy to be at Family Fest, because this is home buyer season. And you know, a good example is the City of Milwaukee has a program now, and the City of Milwaukee is actually one of our founding members of the consortium. they'll provide home buyers up to $20,000 in forgivable grant assistance if they purchase a foreclosure owned by the city. It's a great opportunity. Our nonprofit partners and our neighborhood groups like Havenwood are all involved in stimulating that home buyer interest. So we're really excited.
Yeah, and we know for a fact that there were a lot of homes that were in foreclosure during the housing crisis, and it not only caused other homeowners' property value to go down, some cases it was just a plain eyesore. So to have programs like this who are helping people to take over those properties and bring the neighborhood back up, that is something you guys are committed to doing and promoting, the fact that there are some great neighborhoods right here in the city of Milwaukee, right?
There are so many different neighborhoods, and several of them are represented by Take Root. A variety of different housing stock, different prices. So somebody that maybe is going to get a starter home can fit into most of our neighborhoods, as well as somebody that wants a little bit more expensive home, a little higher level. And so a big focus of Take Root right now is promoting Milwaukee neighborhoods, because you don't just want to buy the house that you love. I mean, that's what people kind of go for, but you're also purchasing the neighborhood that you're going to move into. So the Havenwoods neighborhood, as well as Thurston Woods, Harambe, they're more on the northwest side of Milwaukee, and then you have Burnham Park and Layton Boulevard, Clark Square, that are on the south side, and all of these neighborhoods have amazing assets. We'll have information here at the Family Fest. We'll have information on both the lenders that we're working with, as well as all the neighborhoods and kind of the assets that we have available. Another important part is that we connect at Take Root. We connect folks who are looking to purchase a home with home buyer counseling agencies. Somebody who gets 6 to 8 hours of homebuyer counseling is 80 to 90% less likely to ever fall into foreclosure. They also help people who maybe, there's so many people out there who maybe have never purchased a home, and they don't realize that it can often be significantly less to pay a home mortgage than to pay their rent.
Yeah.
So they're throwing their rent money away, and they could be positioning themselves to purchase a home. So with our partnership with the lenders and the counseling agencies, we can help groom these people to have their credit correct, see what programs they need, and get themselves on a financial wellness track so that they can invest into a home and start building wealth for themselves.
Yeah. And the bottom line is everybody has an opportunity to live out their American dream and have that cute house with a white picket fence, if in fact that's what you envision. So you talk about the counselors and how they can kind of paint a picture for people as to what it takes in order to be a homeowner. So whereas you may be paying rent and you could in fact afford a mortgage to pay your home, there's also counselors who are there saying there's more to paying for the maintenance of a home than just paying for the mortgage. So a lot of things that you have to bring to light for individuals so that they understand all of the different things that go along with being a homeowner.
Yeah, and that's one of the sad results of the foreclosure crisis is rents have skyrocketed because so many people either lost their homes or couldn't afford to buy a home. So as Jessica pointed out, it's amazing. We'll close loans every month at PyraMax in which we're looking at people who are lowering their cost of housing by buying a home from what they were paying in rent, and that's a big difference in affordability.
Yeah, the landlord's house gets bigger.
Yep. There you go.
Yeah. So one of the things that I did want to talk about is the home ownership education. We've talked about the counselors, but what are some of the myths versus facts that people need to understand when they deal with Take Root Milwaukee? You are always there to educate them on every level.
Yeah. First of all, we're advocates. I mean, it's understandable that certain consumers have a fear of banks. And I guess I can relate to that to some extent. But the folks that Take Root, whether it's the nonprofit counseling agencies or the community groups like Jessica's, they are advocates for the consumer. And so they help them navigate the loan process. So it's not just the big bad lender, it's a whole group of people really interested in the consumer.
Yeah, and anybody that's been to a closing, you've got a stack of papers this thick, and how much of it do we really understand, no matter how many degrees you may have? There's a lot into understanding everything that goes into purchasing a home. So I think it's awesome that people have the option of utilizing Take Root Milwaukee on all the different levels. And what is a website where people can go to get more information about everything that you do offer?
So they can go to www.takeroot.org or .com, they both work, and that will tell you also very shortly about our homeownership fair that's coming up just a month after Family Fest on March 7th, Saturday, March 7th. The majority of our partners will be there, and that's like your one-stop shop for buying a home in the city of Milwaukee. The city of Milwaukee will be there with their $20,000 matching grant program.
Wow.
Also workshops on how to deal with these foreclosures, the steps that you need to take to fix up some of these more dilapidated homes. All of our realtors that are connected with us are there, because you also want a good realtor, so a Take Root trusted realtor is a great one to go with. And the neighborhood, so everybody is at this homeownership fair that you may want to talk to for purchasing a home, and that's coming up in a month.
And we'd be remiss if we didn't mention the Greater Milwaukee Association of Realtors. One of their officers actually leads our group right now, so we're very lucky to have everyone who's a stakeholder in the home buying process involved. Not just lenders, not just community groups, realtors, appraisers, home inspectors. It's really a diverse group.
Yeah, it's a lot of exciting things that's going on with the organization, and all of these partners coming together to make a difference really speaks volumes of the difference that can be made when people bring their resources together to help the community.
For sure.
Yeah, I thank you both for coming by, and you wanted to add something, Jessica?
I just had one other thing that we always like to get out, and so, you know, home purchase is something we really promote, but just one other important fact on the foreclosure issue is many people pay a lot of money for people to help them get out of a foreclosure situation, and that's actually illegal for people to charge money, and those are scams. And so we always want to make people aware that if somebody has ever tried to charge them money to help them with foreclosure prevention counseling, they should also contact Take Root, because they should not be being charged money for that counseling.
Yes, and I'm so glad that you brought that up, because there are so many different scams that are out there, and when people are focused on saving their home, they're almost desperate and willing to do whatever they need to do. So hearing you say that plants the seed for them to know that that is not something they should be doing. And also just keep in mind, Take Root Milwaukee's there. So, and you have all of these resources who are trusted, and they've shown and proved what they can do. So that's what it's all about. And people can come by here at Family Fest and get all of the information they need about all the great things that you're doing. Thanks for coming by.
Definitely.
And what a time to buy a home.
Yeah.
Great time to buy a home. It's definitely that time of year. So it has been a pleasure. Jessica Noth is the Healthy Neighborhoods Coordinator at Havenwoods Economic Development Corporation, and Gary White is the Community Development Manager at PyraMax Bank. For more information on the Take Root Milwaukee organization, log on to takerootmilwaukee.com, and keep in mind that Take Root Milwaukee is also one of the local sponsors of CW18 and My 24's Family Fest, happening here at Southridge Mall on Saturday, February 7th and Sunday, February 8th. All the details are online at cw18milwaukee.com. We look forward to seeing you here. And that's going to do it for today's show. I'm your host, Andrea Williams. As always, thank you for watching, and I hope you join us again next week as we take another look at our issues, Milwaukee. Have a great day.